those deals.
Now, throughout your journey so far, it sounds like you're a very involved person. You're right in there on the projects. You're right in there cutting hemp yourself and doing all that kind of stuff, and you put a lot of effort into it until a certain point where you have to go, you know what, I could carry this forward, or I have to shut it down. Even though if you have an emotional attachment to something, for instance, your very first food truck, you go, okay, you know what, I have to shut that down because I need to do something else, even if you put so much effort into it. How do you assess when that's the right time? Where you go, you know what, I've put so much into this, I can't carry it forward anymore. I know I really want to do it, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a number of factors that go into it. I think you have to look at it takes a lot of introspection to see how much you love what you're doing, how passionate you are about something. Those are very important, I think, for the first question you have to ask yourself. How much do I love this? How much do I want to see this through? The next thing is you have to look at the circumstances. You know, in our case with the hemp farm, we were planning to set up another project around April or May of 2020. Yet sure enough, April of 2020, that's when we went on lockdown, right? And in order for us to start that farm again, it would have taken an enormous amount of effort and resources from being in the Midwest to have our farmers be able to get employees that could work there, keep the farm open. You just have to look at, internally at yourself if you're willing to continue pursuing something. You also have to look at the external factors. What's going on in the world around you? What's going on in your business? Is there competition that you're dealing with? Did you time the market right? Those are all important questions to ask yourself. A lot of it then just comes down to intuition. You know, do you think that you can pursue this? And most of the times that I've decided to pull the plug on something, it was a fork in the road. You know, I could either continue this or I could not. And you try to look and see, you know, if you have to reverse engineer it a little bit. If you decide not to do something, you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do in its place? You know, are you going to continue leveling up, doing something new, more exciting? Are you going to do another business, or are you going to fall backwards if you don't continue doing this project? Mm-hmm. So I've always been one, I never like to go backwards. So, if I was going to do something, for example, like the crepe business, I was at a point where I was going to decide, do I just drop out of college and pursue this business and try to do it on my own? Or do I continue with college and look for other opportunities where I can meet more people and find different businesses or ideas to pursue? Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, I could have dropped out of college very easily, and, you know, the business could have taken off by dedicating myself completely to it. But I had other obligations, you know, especially my parents helping me with college. I felt like I would have been I would have been an asshole to drop out of college, you know, if they, with them helping me. So I still think it was the right decision, because it led me to meeting some of the most important and influential people in my life, mm-hmm. and led me to opportunities where, you know, it was like out of a movie. I hosted my investors, my coaches, my mentors at the United Center, right on the center court of the Chicago Bulls. I mean, that photo, I still look back on it and remember how important and significant that day was. In fact, I was at a conference with JT in South Africa, and it was one of his mega partnering conferences out there. And he specifically talked about how important that meeting was, and how it even led to more business with him, with some of his other investors and students that we brought to the event. So just getting that recognition from JT in front of thousands of people made me realize that it actually was worth it to pursue this path and not continue down that other journey with the crepe business. So, but again, you have to look at all the factors. You have to look at the financials. You have to look at the market. You have to look at the economy, and you just have to look deep down in your heart too, if this is something what you truly see yourself doing for the rest of your life. And the last thing I'll say on that is that, you know, the only way to know what to do is by having a vision. And if you don't know what your vision is, you'll be walking around life, you know, moving through life misguided. You won't know what to do, when to do it, right? But if you have a goal in mind, if you're always looking, just like in racing, if your car starts to slide, you don't look at the wall where you're headed, you know, where you're inevitably going to end up. If you're sliding, you change your gaze. You don't focus on the wall, you focus on the road ahead, because your body subconsciously makes the adjustments that it needs to allow the car to go in the direction that you're looking. And I think that's such a great metaphor to life, because you end up in life where you're looking that you want to go. And without having that vision, without having that idea of where you want to go in life, you might make the wrong decisions. And while sometimes, like I said, I've questioned the decisions that I made, I knew that my vision was that I want to help people. I want to do good for people. I want to make this world a better place. And I think I'm doing that right now by, giving people great new homes that they can live in here in Florida. Really nice homes that are actually competitively priced, and also helping people live their dreams by driving supercars. So, I've pursued my passions, and I'm in a position right now in my life where I've never been happier. I've never been more fulfilled doing the two things in life that I love the most.
So how is success similar to a tea bag?
Well, you got to let it steep. You got to let it steep for the right amount and get it at the right temperature to get the best tea.
Well done. So that's how success is like the tea bag.